I'm Sarah, and welcome to this episode of What the Heck Is, a Learning with BrainSell video series where we tackle the tough questions, sometimes not so tough questions, about running your business. And today I'm excited to be joined by our Senior Solution Architect, as well as our resident data wrangler, Tony Berry. Hi, Tony.
Good morning.
And Tony, I asked you to join us today because we have companies that come to us, they're ready to make a big investment in technology, and we advise them for one reason or another to take a step back and actually invest in a solution blueprint. And that's not really a common term, I think, in the business world yet today. So help us out, Tony. What the heck is a solution blueprint?
Yeah, great question. So, I'll use an analogy. So just if you're going to build a house, you probably wouldn't try and build a house without a set of plans.
Yeah.
And so it's the same idea when you're doing a major implementation of technology or a re-implementation, is you want to put together what's called the solution blueprint, which will really be the action plan that will drive success for the project.
That makes sense. So can you give us an example or a story of how we did a solution blueprint for a customer?
Be happy to. We worked with a customer, started a little over a year ago. They came to us, and it was their first implementation of CRM, and even only a couple people in the company had used CRM before. And so we realized we really needed to help them put together their solution blueprint. And so we focused on 4 key areas. The first thing is we needed to identify how they were going to define success.
Yep.
So when the project was done and they came back and looked at it, they could deem that it was a good investment. And so it's really focusing on those key metrics so they could measure what those successes were. In their case, it was improving their lead to cash cycle. Their quote to order was a big part of their business. And then we got into 3 other areas, which is now what's going to be the impact on people? Do we have the right team? Do we need to make changes? Do we need to hire, et cetera? So it's the people plan. Then you look at the processes, because technology is really just an enabler. And so we wanted to make sure their processes were in a good place. A couple of them needed to be adjusted before we actually implemented the technology, and then we helped them actually pick the appropriate CRM and then configure the CRM for it. And the blueprint covered all 4 of those areas.
Yeah, that's great. So it's basically a plan to set them up
Absolutely.
for success. So it's maybe a little extra time and work at the beginning.
It's a little bit just like getting back to that house. If you do that work up front, you'll put the walls in the right place and you'll build the building correctly.
Exactly.
So it's definitely worth the effort.
Great. And so is this something that all companies should consider investing in, or are there certain types of companies where this would be appropriate?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I would say all companies need to look at it, especially if they're doing an implementation or re-implementation that crosses departments. It's called being cross-functional. So CRM, ERP, BI, HR type initiatives tend to fit that because they cross multiple departments. So in that case, you really do need a plan because it's got those people, process, and technology aspects to it.
Yeah, great. All right, thank you, Tony,
my
for
pleasure.
clarifying that for us. And thank you all for joining us for this episode of What the Heck Is. We'll see you next time. Bye.